Hello everyone and welcome. Today is a reference to Armistice Day and Remembrance Sunday 2021. So, what does this mean? Armistice Day is on the 11th of November and is also known as Remembrance Day. It marks the day World War I ended at 11 a.m. on the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. A 2-minute silence is held at 11 a.m. to remember the people who have died in wars. At the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month, we will remember them. Armistice is Latin for to stand still in arms. To this day, we mark Armistice Day around the United Kingdom with a 2-minute silence at 11 a.m. on the 11th day of the 11th month. Remembrance Sunday. The national service of remembrance at the Cenotaph in London is held on Remembrance Sunday, the closest Sunday to the 11th of November. The service is attended by senior members of the royal family, including Her Majesty the Queen, Her Majesty's government, and usually features a march past involving 10,000 veterans. Remembrance Sunday will take place this year on the 14th of November. The poppy. Our red poppy is a symbol of both remembrance and hope for a peaceful future. Poppies are worn as a show of support for the armed forces community. The poppy is a well-known and well-established symbol, one that carries a wealth of history and meaning with it. Wearing a poppy is still a very personal choice, reflecting individual experiences and personal memories. It is never compulsory, but is greatly appreciated by those who it is intended to support. What is the inspiration and history behind the poppy becoming a symbol of remembrance? The Western Front. During World War I, much of the fighting took place in Western Europe. The countryside was blasted, bombed, and fought over repeatedly. Previously beautiful landscapes turned to mud, bleak and barren scenes where little or nothing could grow. Fields of poppies. There was a notable and striking exception to the bleakness: the bright red Flanders poppies. These resilient flowers flourished in the middle of so much chaos and destruction, growing in thousands upon thousands. The poppy is a symbol of remembrance and hope, including hope for a positive future and peaceful world. They are a show of support for the armed forces community, those currently serving, ex-serving personnel and their families, and a symbol of remembrance for all those who have fallen in conflict. John McCrae wrote the poem In Flanders Fields, which inspired the use of the poppy as a symbol of remembrance. In the spring of 1915, shortly after losing a friend Ypres, a Canadian doctor, Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae wrote his now famous poem after seeing poppies growing in the battle-scarred fields. In Flanders Fields, the poem by John McCrae. In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses, row by row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders field. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. The spread of the poppy as a symbol. The poem then inspired an American academic named Moyna Michael to adopt the poppy in memory of those who had fallen in the war. She campaigned to get it adopted as an official symbol of remembrance across the United States and worked with others who were trying to do the same in Canada, Australia and the UK. Also involved with those efforts was a French woman, Anna Guerin, who was in the UK in 1921, where she planned to sell the poppies in London. There she met Earl Haig, the founder, who was persuaded to adopt the poppy as the emblem in the UK. The Royal British Legion, which had been formed in 1921, ordered 9 million poppies and sold them on the 11th of November that year. Poppy popularity grows. In view of how quickly the poppies had sold and wanting to ensure plenty of poppies for the next appeal, Major George Howson set up the poppy factory to employ disabled ex-servicemen. Today, the factory and the warehouse in Aylesford produces millions of poppies each year. The demand for poppies in England continued unabated and was so high, in fact, that few poppies actually managed to get to Scotland. To address this, and to meet growing demand, Earl Haig's wife Dorothy established the Lady Haig Poppy Factory in Edinburgh in 1926 to produce poppies exclusively for Scotland. Today, over 5 million Scottish poppies, which have 4 petals and no leaf, unlike the poppies in the rest of the UK, are still made by hand by disabled ex-servicemen at Lady Haig's Poppy Factory each year, and distributed by charity Poppy Scotland. An enduring symbol. Remembrance in the UK today is very different than it was 100 years ago. People take part whatever their political or religious beliefs. The poppy remains a humble, poignant symbol of remembrance and hope. What is remembrance? Remembrance honours the service and sacrifice of our armed forces, veterans and their families. They protect our way of life. Remembrance events. Our remembrance events encourage communities to come together to honour those who served and remember their sacrifice. Fields of remembrance. The tributes planted in our fields of remembrance each carry a personal message to someone who lost their life for service in our country. What we're remembering this year. In 2021, we're marking 100 years since the nation's collective remembrance traditions were first brought together. Poppy appeal. What do different coloured poppies mean? Many people choose to wear a poppy in November for Remembrance Day to show respect for the people who died fighting in the First World War and the conflicts that followed it. But there are other different coloured poppies too, purple, black and white, that have different meanings. What does the red poppy mean? Memorial to World War I and following conflicts. The red poppy is the most famous symbol used to commemorate those who sacrificed their lives in World War I and conflicts that followed. Wearing a poppy was inspired by the fields of poppies that grew where many of the battles were fought. The red poppy is connected to the Royal British Legion, a charity created by veterans of World War I. They say that the red poppy represents remembrance and hope. What does the purple poppy mean? To remember animal victims of war. The purple poppy is often worn to remember animals that have been victims of war. Animals like horses, dogs and pigeons were often drafted into the war effort, and those that wear the purple poppy feel their service should be seen as equal to that of human service. In particular, many horses were killed or injured in World War I. Donations to the Purple Poppy Appeal, which is organised by the War Horse Memorial, will go to charities like World Horse Welfare and the animal charity Blue Cross. What does the black poppy mean? Remembering African, Black and Caribbean communities' contribution. The black poppy has two different meanings attached to it. It is mostly community orientated, with a commemoration of Black, African and Caribbean communities' contribution to the war effort as servicemen and servicewomen and as civilians. The campaign organisers say that while they also support the red poppy, they feel that the black poppy highlights this contribution and the place of Black, African and Caribbean communities in remembrance. What does the white poppy mean? White poppy remembers people who died in conflict with a focus on an end to war. Some people feel that the red poppy glorifies war and conflict. Instead, they might choose to wear a white poppy. The white poppy is handed out by a charity called Peace Pledge Union, which promotes peace. They say that the white poppy commemorates people who died in conflict, but focuses on achieving and challenging the way we look at war. Remembrance Day. Why someone might not wear a poppy. Each year, millions of people wear a red poppy for remembrance as a mark of respect for all those who have lost their lives fighting on behalf of their country, and to raise money for those whose lives have been affected by war. Remembrance Sunday is this year on the 14th of November. But not everybody wears a symbol of a poppy, and some people have disagreements over its use. The Royal British Legion says wearing a poppy is a personal choice and it should be about your own thoughts and memories. They say it's greatly appreciated by those it helps, those serving in the armed forces, former servicemen and women and their families. However, not everyone chooses to wear a red poppy for many different reasons. Some people feel that the red poppy has become too political, and that some politicians have used powerful feelings it creates to justify war. Others refuse to wear poppies because they feel there's too much pressure put on people to wear them. If you do wear a poppy, when should you wear it? Even for those who do wear poppies, sometimes there's confusion about how you should or shouldn't wear it. Some people say you should wear your poppy from the 31st of October. Others say you should wear it in the 11 days leading up to Remembrance Day. Some believe you shouldn't wear one until after bonfire night on the 5th of November. The Royal British Legion says if you want to wear a poppy, you can wear it any time, as long as you wear it with pride. Does it matter on which side you wear your poppy? The Queen wears her poppies on the left-hand side of her coat. I'll leave you with a thought of the day. On the 11th of November, we will remember them, lest we forget. Please hold that thought.